WNEM's First Alert Weather app, sponsored by Tommy's Express Car Wash.
Good morning, Mid-Michigan. I'm First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro here. We're doing a little live stream after our snow coverage from this morning. We had that storm system move through yesterday, and it started to come to an end in the middle of the overnight. Then we did have a few straggling snow showers late this morning, too. But at this point here, most of that snow has come to an end, and our road conditions, most importantly, too, those have greatly improved across our area. I do want to start off just doing a bit of a live cam tour here through Mid-Michigan. So that's US 10 from our Fabiano Brothers building. That's with our wall side windows camera. And you see there the parking lot still does have a little bit of that hard packed ice and snow, but you might encounter a few parking lots like that. But otherwise, areas that have been treated and plowed are starting to improve. I'll move us over to downtown Saginaw, live look from the Dow too. And we're actually seeing a decent amount of improvement on these roadways as well. A lot of our surface streets where plows have been getting out. And notice this here on Johnson Street. It is still wet, but that is just showing that the salt is definitely working out there so far for us this morning. I'll go ahead and move us down to Flint as well. This is a live look at I-75. This is right near Miller Road, and you can see here also sort of the same case that we saw in downtown Saginaw. It is still wet on those roads, but anywhere that's been treated so far this morning, certainly doing much better than about 4 or 5 hours ago. But there are just a couple of flurries falling in Flint. I'll go ahead and show you that First Alert pinpoint Doppler. So at this point here, that storm system has moved off towards the east, and we still have a little bit of cloud coverage lingering, but some sun coming in towards our northwestern areas. These flurries that we still have around Flint, Fenton, Grand Blanc, Goodrich, even towards Metamora and Lapeer. I wouldn't expect that to last for too much longer, but notice over on the west side of the state there is some snow coming in off of Lake Michigan, and that's kind of a look ahead at what we're expecting for the afternoon. Just some lake effect that picks up, but of course with lake effect picking up later on today, the coverage of that will be a little bit more limited here. And we'll take a look at our drive times. Your First Alert traffic map here is showing a lot of green coming in, certainly much better shape than earlier this morning. That's been the case up north through the Bay region, the Thumb, central Michigan, and also farther south towards Flint and Genesee County. Now, of course, if you are having to travel anywhere today, especially if you head out anytime soon, you are still going to encounter some subdivisions or maybe some side streets that are still a little bit snowy, but a lot of those main roads have made some significant improvements. Now, one thing I want to show you here too are our snow totals. These have been really starting to roll in for this morning. And first and foremost, with these snow totals that we have as well, you'll notice a lot of them are coming in sort of at the lower end of the ranges that we had in the forecast. So on these maps here, the shading in the background, that's our forecast that we had last issued yesterday morning. So this purple shading here, that's a 5 to 9 inch range that we had included for Flint, a lot of the surrounding areas in our southern counties too. And these totals that have been coming in, we had one right near Davison at about 5.5 inches, 6.5 near Lapeer, also a 6-inch total out of Grand Blanc, 5.8, also right near Grand Blanc. We've even had this 5.2-inch report that's been a little bit to the south of Birch Run. And if you have any totals that you'd like to report to us, certainly send those in to us. You can reach us by email on our Facebook pages, and also even if you have the TV5 First Alert Weather app, and I'll show you here, you go right on the app to the home screen, and once you get down to the bottom of the home screen, you'll scroll past our current conditions and the radar and the hourly forecast, and there is going to be a spot down here right below the live stream link too, and that does say submit your photos and videos. So you'll just click on that. That'll take you to the WNEM website, and then there you can submit a photo of your snowfall report too. And as always, if you do send over those snowfall reports with a photo, just make sure you do include those locations with them as well. Now we'll move up into the Bay region. The totals that have been coming in here have been a little bit more sparse, but we are still seeing a few of them. We've got 4 inches right near Oil City, also to the south of Midland, a 4.8-inch report that came in right in Bay City, and then 4.5 inches that came in for us at MBS Airport. You see the blue shading here too. That's a 4 to 8-inch range, and then that 5 to 9. We still had that 5 to 9 for places like Auburn, Bay City, and Saginaw. So here into the Bay region, especially Saginaw and Bay City specifically, specifically. We did fall short of that range just by about a half inch or so, but really the reason that we had this at least lower end range for a lot of mid-Michigan is simply just because of the dry air at the start of this event yesterday. So it took a few hours, especially here in Saginaw, for instance. You might have saw a few flurries yesterday afternoon. Those flurries were kind of on and off, but it really didn't get started with more consistent, steady snowfall until almost closer to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. On the radar, there was a lot of snow aloft, but that dry air was just keeping it from reaching the ground. So that's why some of these numbers are coming in a little bit lower than we were expecting, but still, at least there has been enough out there that we've been needing to plow the roads and needing to shovel and snow blow this morning too. Coming in up north, because of that lake enhancement from that wind off of the lake, Tawas City, we had a 7.7-inch report. I also had a viewer report to me near Gray, 8 inches as well. So certainly a decent amount of snow right near the shoreline. We had this 5-inch report coming in a little bit to the north of Gray, 7 inches near South Branch. So that's to the northwest of Hale. And then we've had this cluster of 4-inch totals coming in around Houghton Lake, Prudenville, also St. Helen and West Branch. But again, if you do have any totals that you want to send in to us, you can send them in to us by going to the photo submission link in the TV5 First Alert Weather app, by reaching out to us by email, or even on our Facebook pages. Just look us up, meteorologist Matthew Mondro, meteorologist Diane Phillips, and meteorologist Chris Easelick on Facebook. You can either tag us in some of those photos with your snow reports, or you can even comment them on some of our recent posts, because we'll definitely see them there too. I'm going to move us over to our First Alert hour by hour. So again, earlier I was mentioning that there is still that lake effect chance for this afternoon. Any of these snow showers that pick up later on this afternoon here coming in from the west, they could bring a light coating. I'd say at the heaviest here, up to about an inch of snow. This certainly won't be anything like what we saw yesterday evening or during the overnight. But from here, we are behind the storm system. So these snow showers that kick up, it's just because of the wind shift. Our wind is now coming out of the northwest. This is by 3 o'clock this afternoon. You still notice just a couple of these scattered snow showers holding on for us. And then once we go into tonight, this is where we are going to see these snow showers mostly coming to an end. In the middle of tonight, we still could just have a lingering flurry up towards Rose City or St. Helen or Houghton Lake. So one thing I do want to show you as well is towards the end of this week, I'm going to move us over to one of our other forecast models here. And we are using today as sort of a transition day. We're shifting gears from the snow that we just had over to the snow that we're tracking for tomorrow night into Saturday. And we've been saying that throughout the week. We're going one system at a time here, as it certainly has been an active pattern. This right here is your First Alert hour by hour at about 11 o'clock tomorrow evening. I will say for Valentine's Day tomorrow, if you have any plans during the day, those plans should get on just fine there. We have dry weather all throughout the daylight hours, and actually for most of the evening too. Again, it's not until closer to about 11 o'clock or midnight on Friday night where we are going to see the snow starting to pick up. And then as we go into the early morning hours on Saturday, this is about 4 a.m. Snow still ongoing, even around 8 o'clock on Saturday morning too. There is the potential that some of the snow could last even into the afternoon hours on Saturday. The end time of that snow has definitely been something kind of up in the air still. So we are, again, using today to shift gears to analyze this system a little bit more. It's been holding there in the data for most of the week. So we have had a First Alert weather day possible on this system. That First Alert weather day would start on Friday night if this system does still happen to hold on for us. So at this point, we are just waiting for another round of data to come in. But so far, this has been looking decent for us, and I think we could easily pick up at least another 3 or 4 inches if everything still holds on with this pretty well. So that's what we're still tracking for tomorrow night into Saturday. But just that reminder again, during the day for Valentine's Day, that forecast is actually still looking pretty decent for us overall. And I'll actually go ahead and show you your high temps for today too, as we are tracking still a bit of a cooler day here. We are expecting highs only up to about 26 degrees, but in these temperatures, road salt is very effective. So that is part of why we've seen our road conditions greatly improving here over the last few hours for this morning. Now, I'll show you your 7-day forecast too. One thing to point out after the snow that we pick up tomorrow night into Saturday is going to be early next week. So we only have a high of 12 degrees on Monday, 15 coming in on Tuesday, and then 18 degrees coming in on Wednesday. So once we get behind this system here, we are going to have a lot of dry and colder air surging in from Canada. So that's why we still see this colder pattern carrying on into next week. If you are an ice fisher or if you snowmobile, this is actually a great looking forecast for you. We're staying cold, so we're going to keep and actually still continue to build up some ice for our ice fishers. And with both the snow that we just picked up and then any of that snow for tomorrow night into Saturday, I'll say your snowmobiling conditions looking pretty good as we go into this weekend. And really not even only just for northern Michigan, but for a lot of the area, even if you're just looking to get out into the yard or the field, I think you'll be in pretty good shape for the weekend here. So that forecast, again, if you're a winter sport enthusiast, looking pretty good for you overall. I'll just take us back to our traffic maps, though, one last time here to show you that drive times have certainly improved from earlier this morning, because most of that system snow did end at about 3 or 4 o'clock this morning. So some of the light snow showers that we had towards 7 a.m., that was actually more so just some leftover moisture or energy in the atmosphere, but the low itself was well off to the east as of this point. But again, up north, not looking too bad on a lot of our main roadways, both our interstates and our state roads. Also around the Bay region, the Thumb, and central Michigan. And then as we move down towards Flint, Genesee County, and the surrounding areas there too, definitely a lot of improvement over earlier this morning. But again, stay tuned to that forecast as we go throughout today, because we will have more updates regarding tomorrow night's snow in our forecast at noon, and also coming up later this afternoon and evening. And we'll work to get a snowfall map together for that upcoming system as well. But if you have anywhere to travel late this morning or even into the afternoon, drive safely, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.